Women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. Joining me today is Megan Minkiewicz, Senior Director, Global Partner Programs and Experience at Pure Storage, and one of our Women of the Channel Advisory Board members. Hi, Megan. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we are excited to get to know you. Let's start with, where do you live and where did you grow up, if that's different?
Different. So I currently live in Bend, Oregon, where we've been for almost 20 years, but born and raised in the Bay Area. So lifelong Silicon Valley kid.
Oh, I love San Francisco. Haven't been to Oregon yet, but it's definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah, here.
All right, what about a little known fact that you're willing to share with all of us?
Well, I'm pretty transparent, so I'll probably share anything, but just to make sure people do not think I'm a dog hoarder. In the background, you may see a bunch of photos of Labradors. My husband and I are volunteers for Guide Dogs for the Blind, and these are some of the guide dog puppies that we have raised over the years.
I love that. I love that so much. Just because, and please don't murder me for saying this, but you got to show everybody your coffee cup since we chatted right before the call, because I love it.
Well, other little known fact, a serious Swiftie. Even my coffee cup is a Swiftie lyric.
I love it. Thank you so much for
No
that.
problem.
All right, let's move into, what are some experiences or transformational moments you've had in your life?
So, I think life is made up of just a whole series of transformational moments that we all take lessons from. But I thought through it and tried to find kind of one personal and one professional that had big impacts on me. So I think professionally, sort of middle of my career, I chose a job for the wrong reasons. And I chose the job for a bigger title, which is not always what it's cracked up to be. And it turned out that on my first day at that job, sitting there in new hire, I immediately knew this was the wrong choice. And that's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm not a person who gives up easily. So I toughed it out for 2 years and I felt like I did my time. And I would like to say I learned some lessons, mostly personal, about what I'm willing to kind of put up with and do. And kind of good, it was a good boundary setting exercise, I would say. But really, I think it taught me to really think about why you're interviewing or looking at a job prospect, and how to look at it from a big picture lens versus like fixing an immediate dislike or discomfort that you have. So I think that's probably a pretty significant transformational moment for me.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And I would say personally, I'm a road cyclist. So I ride a road bike a lot. And about 10 years ago, I took a header into a pickup truck at 25 miles an hour.
Oh my goodness.
I think that experience, a couple of things. I think that experience really put a lot of things into perspective clearly, because you're like, whoa, what just happened to me? But I do remember I had this very, very clear moment of clarity. I was sitting on the side of the road being attended to by EMTs, et cetera. And I was like, well, I can let this experience take me to like a negative place and make it a bad experience. I can just make it a super transparent, this is what happened. And this is what, my face was a wreck, 100 some stitches. My front teeth were broken out. But you have to, you can really, that can cause, specifically as a woman, you to just want to crawl in a hole. And I had to get on a plane 3 days later with black eyes and stitches.
Oh my goodness.
Like a victim of something very bad. But I do think like just being transparent about this can take you to a dark place, or you can use this to your advantage and go, this actually made me change a lot of how I view my life in the world, much more empathetic, much more open to like different ways that people react to things and behave in different situations. And I think just kind of gave me some perspective about really like what's important and what you really should be doing in both professional and personal situations to make sure you're taking care of yourself while also, being cognizant of the world around you.
Wow, that is terrifying. I can't even imagine what you went through, but what a lesson on resiliency along
Yeah.
with it. Like you
Yeah.
having to get on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can't
that happened
imagine.
like the minute they told me I could. I was like, not, it's like I grew up showing horses. So you get bucked off a horse, you get right back on. Same thing. Yeah.
Amazing lessons from that. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing both of them with us,
Yeah.
Megan. Those are huge,
Yeah.
really.
No problem.
All right. I'm going to pivot into, you know, how do you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
I think a couple of things. So I do try to take advantage of any opportunity that's given to me for coaching or education through either webinars or development opportunities, conferences, etc. But I also think most importantly is I really just try and listen. I try to listen to what's happening around me, what's happening in my organization, in my broader company, and go, where can I help? Where can I help and where can I drive opportunity or success or assistance in different projects and different things. So I think just kind of being aware and first of all, listening. I think that's the most important thing you do for growing in your career. And then I do continue to challenge myself. I take on different projects. I like to be very cross functional. Um, I think it's important to continue advancing your skill set and learning, keeping that mental muscle working rather than it's very easy to get kind of in a rut or in your swim lane and just stay there.
Yeah, I love that you said listening first. Because sometimes chasing after I love workshops, I love
Yeah,
reading books,
yeah,
but like going out and finding ways to learn, like just listening to
yeah,
those around you and
yeah,
taking in those
yeah,
experiences. That's why I love
yeah,
these interviews because I learned so much from all you and everyone else that has been
yeah,
um, that I've been fortunate enough to talk to, but just listening to these amazing leaders, like in the experiences and advice they have is so
yeah.
impactful.
I think there's one other thing that I forgot, not forgot, but I was like, oh yeah, this is also
Yeah.
a really important thing that I've participated in. But there's all over different communities have different kind of like women in professional career type groups, and locally we have Women Doing Good, and so it's a women's only kind of network where
Hmm.
actually we do go. What we do is we go out and volunteer in different places in the community, but most are professionals. Careers in tech, careers in healthcare. And when you live in a more rural community or kind of not a big city like Bend, Oregon, it's great to kind of be able to connect with people outside of your just kind of swim lane because my swim lane is
Yeah.
storage and resellers. So getting out of that swim lane, just talking to other people and getting other people's insight is also, I think, really important. Something
That's
people should look
great
for in their
advice.
community.
Yeah, that's great advice because sometimes we just get caught up in our own worlds, in our own boxes of what we
Yeah,
do. So just
very.
having that outside experience. I imagine even with the your volunteer opportunities with the beautiful pups behind you teaches you a lot about leadership as well.
Yeah, I think so. We've been doing it a very long time, so I'm probably like a little uh, not disgruntled, but just kind of like oblivious to it at this point. But yeah, I
Yeah.
do think I would say like we grew up as 4-H kids on a farm, so you learn really early on. Like by second grade, you're doing demonstrations, which is basically public speaking, and I think
Hmm.
like those are really valuable things that I don't think many kids have the opportunity to do anymore. And I know there's much, much, much more technology, camps. There's all sorts of great things kids can do, but I do think like that, like homegrown. You could put me in front of like I don't even care who or how big, and I'll be like, well, it's just a group of people you're talking to. So it doesn't frazzle me at all. I do take that back to having to do having to do that in front of adults when you were in second grade.
I love that. Great advice. All right, let's shift a little. I love this question because I just always love to hear what people suggest because I feel like this is a lifetime um, goal just to keep
Yeah,
working at. But
yeah.
what do you do to protect or create your work life balance, if we're going to use that word?
Well, there was a point in my life where I had awful work-life balance, like atrocious. I would maybe sleep 4 hours a night, and I would work till I would be on work calls like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not healthy. It's not good for
No.
anybody. And I would say probably like late 30s, I just started to go, this isn't working for me. I mean, physically, I was a wreck. Mentally, I was like on my last thread. So I mean, for me personally, I was a college athlete. I basically said, I have to get my body healthy. So
Mm-hmm.
I started to run again and bike again and, and do it more often. And I'm very protective. Anybody that works with me will tell you I'm extremely protective of my morning run. Do not, you right now are taking out my morning run, but I'll do it later today and I calendared it. But it's a protected time for me. It's my church. It's my best thinking time. It's my quality time with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
love
like
that.
I that's kind of the one it's a one non-negotiable in my life across every facet of my life. It doesn't matter whether it's work or vacation or with my husband. He knows we're on vacation. We could be somewhere in Europe and I'll be like, I got to go for a run. I'll see you in an hour and a half. And he's like, you go do you, because he knows I'm a better balanced, better thinking, happier human if I do that thing in the morning.
Yeah, I love that. I will say that it took me a long time to figure that out, but yes, my morning
Yeah.
workout is definitely,
Very
I am
important.
definitely much better if I have it.
Yeah.
And I did skip mine too because we had our call a little bit early, but it's okay. I'll get it in
Yeah,
later
as long as
today.
that's the
Yeah.
thing is you get into a habit, and I'm a super habitual person. You get into a habit that no matter what, you do it. Because previous
Hmm.
Megan would have been like, it's 3 o'clock. I don't really want to go for a run. And now I'm just like, that's a non-negotiable in my
Yeah.
own brain. So therefore it's a non-negotiable anywhere.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that, Megan.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a lesson I say, take it, take it, take it, take it, because just listening and talking to you just now, like, your previous experiences, for me, it was like always putting my own self-care needs aside and like, oh
Totally. Yeah.
no, I got to do this for my kids or my husband or my
Yep.
mom or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yep.
or
Yeah.
work. And
Yep.
just take that advice from Megan early, because you will be much more grounded, whatever that looks like for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes a difference. So I love that. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time today and, rescheduling your run for
That's
us,
okay.
and just sharing a little bit about you. And thank you for all of your work and support with the advisory board for Women of the Channel. I know probably people think it looks really easy, but it's not. They put a lot of time in and their feedback has been invaluable. So we really appreciate
Fun.
you.
It's good. It helps our industry. It helps women in technology. I think we need more uplift. So I think, women helping women is literally the way of the world at this point.
Yes, I
Look
love
at
that.
Taylor Swift and Beyonce.
Yes,
Partners
yes.
in crime.
Yep. Totally, totally true. You might turn me into a Swiftie after all, Megan.
I mean, it is my goal in life to get everybody on board.
Well, it's been so great getting to know you more. And thank you so much for allowing
Yeah.
us to celebrate you as our Woman of the Week.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been really fun.
All right, community members, there you have it. Let's give Megan shout outs and celebrate her all week long as our Woman of the Week. Until next time, happy Wednesday.